Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today is the Mayor of Fitchburg, Aaron Richardson. And we just got back from a ribbon cutting, which I certainly enjoy, and especially when a car drives through a ribbon, that's a good ribbon cutting. So if that clues you into what we'll be talking about today, stay tuned for that. But we want to get right into it. Just had a budget approved, which is it's a difficult task as mayor and council to come together, but unanimous vote at the end.
Yeah, and really the budget is the most important thing we do. It's really sets the direction for the city for the next year. It's $25 million, and it really sets those priorities. It's our planning document in a lot of ways. It went pretty smoothly overall. There's a lot of things that we're dealing with as a city, a lot of growth with the town of Madison coming. It's breaking news. No.
Not on this show, no.
But for the town of Madison coming in, those parts over in Southdale off of Rimac Road, that's really going to put a lot of stress on a lot of departments. And so that was something that I've been planning for the last 2 years. And now this year it's kind of come to fruition where we're adding a bunch of staff to really be able to serve those people along with our current residents, because there's a lot of departments that are already at their max capacity, and this is really pushing them even beyond that. So we're adding, it's over 10 positions this year, and really almost every department is going to be impacted positively by this. There's some more that we need to have and we'll continue doing in future years, but this is by far the most positions that we've ever put on in 1 year. We're keeping HR busy, but it's necessary.
Yeah, no, it's a big investment in staffing for sure, but you're right, it matches what's coming and what you guys have known has been coming for quite a while, so it all definitely came together. As we do move forward into this 2022, just quickly on the town of Madison, it's strange because it doesn't actually happen until October. So tell us what will be happening now as we get into it. And we're going to review this. Don't worry, this will get reviewed, but taking from the budget and moving forward, what will be happening here?
We've been doing a lot of planning, and that's really just going into overdrive at this point. We're working both the town and the city of Madison, because the city is obviously taking a lot of that as well, trying to figure out all the moving parts, where things are, what we need to do. And there's a staff team that's getting together every 2 weeks right now. They'll continue that. And it's really been gathering information, trying to get answers from the state on some things, because there's a lot of interesting things. This doesn't happen very often. Annexing big chunks of land like this it's pretty rare, really. And so they don't necessarily know the answers sometimes when we ask them, because they haven't had to deal with it. So we're really trying to reach out and just as much fact-finding as we can. We're going to continue to give information to the public, and we'll have some public information meetings, and just as much as we can get information out, doing mailings and all those types of things as well.
Yeah, we're sitting here ready as a communication department. We're pumped and ready to welcome in town to Madison and bring everybody together. So it's so exciting, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I know staff is excited to and are working hard behind the scenes. A lot of moving parts, like you said, and years in the making for sure. So we'll continue to update that on other updates with you, and specifically for the town of Madison coming up. We talked about some ribbon being cut, and when you talk about planning, and I was talking to a couple of alders today that said, when I first got on council, this was one of the first things I dealt with, and here it is. Hatchery Road is now open. What a phenomenal project as it finished out.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled that we're essentially done. There's some small things, plantings and things like that next year, but everything's open. And the construction barrels are off the road now. It's pretty exciting. Now that means winter starts, which is unfortunate. But, it was over $28 million. And that's not just the road. That's also adding a lot of safety features to that, both in intersections and crosswalks, bike pedestrian paths. All those things are important and help connect that part of the city to everything else, both in Fitchburg and in other communities as well. So it's really something that's really critical. We were able to do a lot of recycling of material for base of the roads. That was a neat thing as well. But you already see the impacts of this. You look at, we've had a couple of apartment buildings come up right already and open and look beautiful. UW Credit Union invested in that area. They opened a new branch. Park Bank, just a phenomenal building right on the corner of Greenway Cross. Just a wonderful entryway to the city, being able to see that. I know a lot of people are excited about the Starbucks in there as well. It's been pretty popular from when I've talked to people. But you look at the investment and the continued investment. We've got people that are still looking at doing projects along there. And that's because it's how inviting it is and the connections. And that's something that I'm excited to see that continuing to evolve.
Yeah, I took away from a couple of presenters how vital that corridor is, the numbers of vehicles that pass through there, but really the big investment. And we heard from a couple of investors that now that this is done, they're looking to expand and do some further projects. So, pretty cool to be on your side and be able to cut what has been a huge plan in the making. And you're right, the investment, not only from the businesses, the city, and where it goes next, it's great.
It really is. And we had companies like KL Engineering, Fitchburg Business, who oversaw the whole project. We've got, Integrity was the main contractor there, but also the partnerships we had with the City of Madison and especially the county, because the county contributed a lot of funds towards this, and they really were a great partner for us. Along with, they do a lot of other things for us in the city with the senior center and neighborhood navigators and a whole lot of other stuff. But, being able to work well with those partners has been a key part of this whole thing.
And it really is the gateway to Fitchburg, and I think that's what makes it special to me. And driving in today was the first actually day that I got to go through without any construction, and I was like, yes, we've talked about it, we've heard it, we've seen it, and here it is, and it's phenomenal. So definitely glad to see that. If you want to check that ribbon cutting out, by the way, see this guy drive through some ribbon in a Corvette, you can see that here on Fact TV.
First time I've driven a Corvette. It's not mine.
Wait, it was the first time you drew through ribbon, though? I mean, that was the first too? Or?
Also the first time driving through ribbon, that's true.
Yeah, and he did have some trouble cutting the ribbon too, but we won't talk about that. Anyway.
It's the ribbon's fault. It's all the ribbon's fault.
That's not what I heard. Finally, as we do close out, a couple of side notes. There'll be some council seats coming up here, and paperwork starts in December. Tell us what's coming up.
Correct. Every year, there's 2 people that represent each of the 4 districts, and one of those people are up for re-election every year. So every district will have one person up for re-election. December 1, you can start getting signatures, and you can actually do some paperwork before that. But December 1 is really the big time for that. So if people are interested in serving on city council, now's the time to think about that. You have until the end of December.
All right, and finally, we're coming up to Thanksgiving. You take a look back here a year now in COVIDville, if you will. But so many great things have happened in this community. And what would be your Thanksgiving message as we go into hopefully getting together with family or finding a way to stay safe and still be thankful?
Yeah, I think the health is obviously the biggest thing, and being able to get a little bit back to normal has been key. I do the Burby Derby every year, and last year it had to be virtual. I still went and did the race and did the actual course. There's actually a bunch of other people out there when I did it as well. But to be able to go back to that again is also a really exciting thing to me. I'll be out there. I'm only doing the 5K. I don't want to run. I have no interest.
By the way, this guy sitting on the other side of the camera looks like he needs to run a few races. So, by all means, I'll criticize you all day long.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people watching will be passing me during the 5K.
Yeah, I've got one story for you that I ran a race and I stopped running as soon as my doctor, that was the original doctor from day one, passed me in a race. And I was like, all right, well, that's the end of that. And that was 200 pounds later. Anyways, but that's a different story. No, I think you're right. That is a true symbol of Fitchburg. And what a great way to burn off calories, by the way, before you indulge in some great Thanksgiving. Thankful that you made it here. And thank you for the update. And we'll check back in December, wrap up the year. And I guess we'll have to find some stories to talk about.
Oh, there's
Was
never
there
a
any
shortage.
some stories this past year, Aaron? Anything?
There's never a shortage of things going on here in Fitchburg.
That's a good thing. We like it. All right, Aaron, thank you so much. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you back next month.
Thanks for having me. Happy Thanksgiving.
You betcha. Well, catch Aaron out at the race, and Do you wear a turkey hat thing? You see those turkey hats?
No, I don't have one.
I'm buying
Not
you
yet.
one. I'm going to buy you one. That's my Christmas present to you. Congratulations. All right, I'll take a quick break. More to come. You are watching Talking Fitchburg. Gobble, gobble.